Netflix could have filmed the show anywhere.
Paris, Barcelona, New York, Tokyo, they have the budget, they have the access, they have the chefs. So when Netflix decided to produce culinary class wars in Korea, this wasn't about convenience. And it wasn't just about the K-content wave.
It was recognition. Because a show like this doesn't survive on a few talented individuals. It needs depth, range.
An entire ecosystem of chefs across generations, philosophies, and styles, all operating at a world-class level.
And Korea has that.
What culinary class wars really shows us isn't just competition. It shows hierarchy, technique, fire control, ingredient mastery.
In other words, it shows a food culture that's no longer emerging. Korean cuisine has arrived. But here's a strange thing. For a long time, Korean food occupied a unique space. It was instantly addictive to anyone who tried it, but rarely respected by the gatekeepers of gastronomy.
It was comforting, bold, affordable, sometimes spicy. But to the West, it wasn't refined, it wasn't technical, it wasn't fine dining.
And that perception had nothing to do with quality. It had everything to do with how Korean food was introduced to the world.
For decades, Korean cuisine traveled through immigration, not institutions. It lived in family-run restaurants and late-night spots. It was a soul food of the diaspora, home-style cooking that kept people warm. Incredible food, but rarely framed as something to be analyzed, studied, or elevated. Meanwhile, French and Japanese cuisines benefited from decades of global storytelling. Culinary schools, Michelin systems, glossy cookbooks, and state-funded diplomacy.
Korean cuisine didn't lack sophistication. It lacked a global translator until now. If you want to understand why Korean chefs are suddenly dominating, you have to start with ingredients.
Korea is a peninsula with 4 distinct seasons, 70% mountainous terrain, and 3 different seas. That geography creates a biological gold mine. We're not just talking about beef and rice. We're talking about hundreds of varieties of namul, wild mountain greens, each with its own season, texture, bitterness, and preparation method.
In many Western cuisines, vegetables are side dishes. In Korea, they are the soul.
Korean chefs speak the language of texture, the crunch of pickled lotus root, the silkiness of fern break, the chew of seaweed harvested from different coastlines.
This level of ingredient literacy is rare, even in global fine dining.
And it's the foundation of everything you see on shows like Culinary Class Wars.
Here's where Korean cuisine truly separates itself. In many food cultures, fermentation is a technique. In Korean cuisine, it's a worldview.
Fermented ingredients aren't added at the end. They shape the dish from the very beginning. doenjang, gochujang, ganjang. Each one is a living system, often aged longer than wine. They deliver umami without heaviness, depth without excess fat, complexity without artificial enhancement. This is why Korean food feels deeply satisfying but rarely overwhelming.
Modern science is only now catching up to what Korean cuisine has practiced for centuries. That gut health, balance, and long-term nourishment matter more than short-term indulgence. This isn't a trend, it's tradition. If you still need evidence, look in New York City, the most competitive fine dining market on earth. As of January 2026, something historic is happening.
While Japanese cuisine still holds a high number of stars, mostly through its established sushi empire, there is a new king of modern dining. If you look at the creative, chef-driven category, Korean cuisine has overtaken the traditional giants.
Not French, not Italian. In the race to define what modern luxury tastes like, Korean chefs are now leading the pack in New York.
And this didn't happen because Korean food suddenly improved. It happened because the world finally developed the palate to understand it. Chefs started telling clearer stories. Critics developed new reference points. Diners became more curious.
Once that door opened, Korean cuisine didn't walk in quietly. It claimed its space as a new global standard. In today's world, luxury isn't just about flavor. It's about longevity.
In Korea, there is an ancient belief that has guided every kitchen for centuries. The idea that food and medicine share the same root.
It's a philosophy that treats every meal not just as fuel, but as healing. A traditional Korean table is naturally probiotic, rich in fiber, balanced in fats, and designed around variety.
Multiple banchan, different temperatures, different textures, different nutritional roles. No calorie counting, no labels, no buzzwords, just balance.
And that's exactly what modern fine dining has been searching for. So why did Netflix choose Korea? Because right now, Korea is the world's most exciting kitchen. And if 2026 is any indication, we've only just finished the appetizer.
The chefs we see today aren't just Korean chefs. They are global visionaries with the world's most versatile pantry at their disposal. They don't abandon tradition to be modern. They reinterpret it. And that's why Korean cuisine is no longer asking for acceptance. It's setting standards. From the markets of Seoul to the white tablecloth dining rooms of Manhattan, the message is clear. The world is finally tasting the true depths of Korean cuisine.
Before we wrap up, a lot of you leave really thoughtful follow-up questions. Public videos don't always give us enough space to go deeper, so we've opened a members-only space for extended context and conversation. That's where we share deeper readings, practical guides, and where we actually respond to member questions directly. If you want to understand Korea beyond the surface, you're welcome to join. If you're seeking more information about hidden gem restaurants in Seoul, I've compiled a list of the top 100 restaurants into an ebook. Feel free to check it out for reference. Wow. Busan. Wow.